Hello friends, let us now learn some previous year questions in AIMS question paper. First, the depicted image below represents the symbol of. So this is actually the symbol of radiation hazard. This is the symbol of radiation hazard. Okay. Then for cytotoxic waves, it looks something like this. There will be a triangle with C in it. That is for cytotoxic waste. Then for biomedical waste, it's a complex symbol. Anyways, we will learn in it in different classes. Next question. All of the following vaccines are given under universal immunization program in India except in India, adult Japanese encephalitis is given in certain areas. Measles and rubella are obviously given as MMR, and also measles is given at 6 months along with at 6 months of age along with vitamin A, and rotavirus is also given as universal immunization program. Influenza is not given because influenza one dose or few doses will not give lifelong immunity. You should have to give influenza every 6 months. Booster dose should be given because influenza can easily undergo antigenic shift and drift and cause changes in the virus, thus resulting in disease again. Okay, next question. Following blood transfusion bags are disposed in which color coded bin? Always remember, blood transfusion bags are in yellow bin. Blood transfusion bags, because blood transfusion bags are actually a human anatomical wastes, right? So these are put under yellow bin. In red bin you will put the contaminated wastes like tubings, bottles, IV tubes and catheters, urine bags, syringes, vacutainers, all those you put in red bag. Blue for mainly glassware and metallic body implants. Blue is for glassware and metallic body implants, whereas white for sharp waste sharps including metals. The next question. Period of isolation for measles is from. This you should by heart. It is from onset of the disease to 3 days after the disease. Onset of the disease to 3 days after onset of rash. So period of isolation from measles is from onset of catarrhal symptoms to 3 days after onset of rash. The next question. TB is transmitted through droplets mode of transmission. Which other disease is by droplet mode of transmission? Pertussis is by droplet mode of transmission. Pertussis is by droplet mode of transmission. Hepatitis B is IV mode, and atypical pneumonia is also, it depends actually, it occurs by droplet infection also, but it is less. Then fascial diphtheria. Then actually even the diphtheria is transmitted by droplet infection. This is actually I'm not sure about this answer of this question. Please refer to other experts. Next question. A health center reports 40 to 50 cases in a week in a community. This week there are 48 cases normally. This kind of occurrence is actually an endemic occurrence. And see, normally if there are 40 to 80 cases and 48 cases are recorded, so it is normal occurrence. The normal occurrence of a disease within a normal range is called as endemic. So here this is endemic. Then the test used to identify the frozen vaccine is. For knowing the frozen vaccine, we have a test called as shake test. In shake test, it is used to check whether the freeze sensitive vaccines have been damaged by exposure to temperature below 0 degrees Celsius. To see whether the freeze sensitive vaccines have been damaged to exposure to temperature, we do this shake test. In this shake test, we actually try to take a vial. First, this is mainly done for free sensitive vaccines. Okay, we will take the free sensitive vaccine, and then you will see whether there is appearance of cloudy liquid or not. If there is appearance of cloudy liquid, but if it tends to settle down at the bottom of the vial, then we can use the vaccine. If the sediments settle down more slowly, then we can use the vaccine. If the sediments in the suspect vial settle at the same rate, then you should not use the vaccine. I'll just explain you again. See, this is a vial. Okay, in this vial you have freezed it, so as a result there is fluid, and you will see the particles of vaccine down. Okay, flakes of the vaccine are seen below. Okay, now if you try to shake it, after shaking it, you will see that the same vaccine, these particles will be completely these particles will be distributed evenly in the vaccine just after shaking it. Now slowly you will put this vaccine to a side, and then if these vaccines, the time taken for these particles to settle down, you will see if they settle down slowly, then you can use the vaccine. If they settle down fast, then you cannot use the vaccine. Actually, you will take a control, and you will see the control vial, and you will see, compare the rate of this settling down and the rate of the these flakes settling down in control vial with the vial which you are going to use. So both of them you will compare, and if this settles slowly, then you can use the vaccine. That is shake test. Then supplementary nutrition is provided in midday meal program. Always midday meal program, 1/3 of the calories and half of the protein requirement, because in midday meal program we are giving supplementary nutrition. This is mainly done to increase the enrollment in schools, right? So if we give half, here we will have to give more protein requirement to the children, because many of these children are malnourished. Protein energy malnutrition is common. Then next question, which of all of the following related with the following image is right except. So this is the image which is given: negatively skewed, positively skewed. 75% values are about 25 milligrams, median is 50 milligrams. Okay, so this, what is this plot? This plot is called as box and whisker plot. We call it as box and whisker plot. With the help of this box and whisker plot, this will divide the whole data into 4 parts. This is 1/4, 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4. So it divides the whole data into 4 parts. Okay, now, so these horizontal whiskers which are present, so this is the box, these are the whiskers. These whiskers which you can see, these will tell us about the range through which this data is distributed. Okay, so what is this type of graph? See, here you will see that this is mostly towards, see what is the mid of this data. So this is almost around from 15 to, we can think that, sorry, from 5 to, you can take it as 45 or 50. Okay, 5 to 40, 50, so 45. So if it is 45 by 2, the midpoint will be 22.5. that means around here you will have the midpoint. But if you see here, that the data has been not in the midpoint, so definitely it is not symmetrical. It is either positively skewed or negatively skewed. It cannot be both at the same time. Okay, that is one thing. Second, one more thing which you can see, that is here this part. Oh sorry, yeah, this is 22.5 plus 5 you should add, because you are taking this data from 5. Okay, how did I get this? This is 27.5 is the midpoint. See this, it has started at 5 and 45. So if you subtract this, 50 minus 5 is 45 by 2. So it is 22.5. 22.5 from 5, not from 0. So you will have to add this 5 also. So the median is at 27.5. So this you can take it as 25. So if you see, almost 75% of values are around 25 milligrams. True, instead of being in the middle, it is a little above. So this is true, right? Next, the next important thing is it positively skewed or negatively skewed? So whenever there is positively skewed, the most of the observations are concentrated at the lower end. If the most of the observations are concentrated at the lower end, then it is positively skewed. But here if you see, most of the observations are at the higher end, that is from 22 so 25, almost 25 to 35. So it is at the higher end, so it is negatively skewed, because most of the observations are at the higher end. So this is not negatively skewed, it is not negatively skewed. Okay.